Senator Baldwin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I've been seriously concerned about the role that the Department of Government Efficiency, otherwise known as Doge, is playing in driving some of the chaos and upheaval in the Commerce Department, including shutting down the Minority Business Development Agency. For example, as I raised in this committee last week, Elon Musk and Doge are playing an outsized and highly questionable role at the department. So, Mr. Genton, since joining the department in February.
Hey everyone, welcome back to True Voice, where we call out the truth and defend the values that actually build this country up: justice, equity, and accountability. If you're tired of corporate spin and political gaslighting, hit that subscribe button and let's make some real noise together. So today, I'm reacting to a pretty wild Senate exchange. Senator Tammy Baldwin absolutely grilling a Trump Commerce Department nominee, Mr. Genton, over some really shady connections involving Elon Musk and something called the Department of Government Efficiency, or Doge. No, not the meme coin. This is apparently a real, internal operation that's been causing chaos inside the Commerce Department. Let's watch.
Have you ever met with Elon Musk?
Yes, Senator. I attended a meeting, one meeting where he was also there.
Who else was present?
This was I would say, a casual meeting. People were walking in and out. It was also some time ago. I was there.
Where was it?
It was in the White House, Senator.
Okay. And what was discussed? Did you discuss any of the plans that Doge had for the Commerce Department?
No, it was a very high-level discussion, a casual discussion.
Mr. Genton, have you ever met any of the members of the Department of Government Efficiency while working at the Department of Commerce?
Senator, I was introduced to two members that I understood were associated with Doge in the hallway. Casual introduction, just a few seconds, really.
Was one of them Nate Kavanaugh?
No.
Okay. Do you know who the two Doge members were?
I don't recall their names. I know it was not Mr. Kavanaugh. His name came up, I think, in a prior hearing. I don't recall that it was him.
And are these Doge members now department employees, the ones that you met?
I don't know, Senator.
Okay. I want to just register my serious concern about the role that Doge played in dismantling the Minority Business Development Agency. I also believe that they played a significant role in creating instability in the manufacturing extension partnership. Are you familiar with that program?
I'm not, Senator.
Okay. So earlier this year, the Trump administration did not renew contracts for 10, it's referred to as MEP, the Manufacturing Extension Partnership. So they didn't renew contracts for 10 MEP centers, causing great alarm across the country and in Wisconsin at our MEP center. And while these contracts have now been restored until the end of the fiscal year for a few more months, this jolt of instability for the Manufacturing Extension Partnership is both unwelcome and unnecessary. Mr. Genton, if Congress does its job and appropriates funding for the MEP centers, will you renew their contracts as is standard practice while you are serving in this position?
Thank you, Senator. I certainly recognize the importance of this issue for you and for Wisconsin. I'm not familiar with it. If I'm confirmed, I will gladly prioritize this and look into it.
Mr. Fink, thank you for meeting with me. I was planning on asking some of the specific questions that Senator Peters just asked you about the audit and the critical safety concerns with Pan Am's long-term safety record and apparent failure of Pan Am's leadership to take action to develop a positive safety culture. That's a readout from the February 2022 FRA Chief Safety Officer's letter. But I wanted to just draw some attention to another aspect of leadership at Pan Am that was cited by the railroad that acquired Pan Am. When CSX acquired your railroad, their CEO testified that the track and infrastructure in some cases was in such poor condition that, quote, it was so overgrown with trees and weeds you didn't even know there's a railroad there. Can you comment on what commitment to safety could have led to the condition of rails as the acquiring CEO testified?
Thank you for your question, Senator, and I enjoyed our visit yesterday. As far as CSX purchasing our railroad, I spent several days taking their chief operating officer over most of the railroad lines. Mr. Foote's comments were on one specific piece of track that was in a very area that was an overgrown wetland. We strived every year to improve our capital and improve our railroad. When we gave the railroad over in June of 2022, it was in the best shape it'd been in 20 years. And that's not just me talking, it's what were we doing as far as safety and train accidents. So our record versus our connecting railroads, we were as good or better. Our safety culture was there. We had done safety culture studies. We handed the railroad over to the CSX in good shape. They knew exactly what they're getting. We cooperated with all of the states that we worked in all of the time, did a lot of cooperative joint ventures allowing passengers running on our freight railroad. So, I mean, overall, I'm proud of the work that we did over the 20 years. There certainly were some issues. They've been raised. I've talked about my thoughts on those issues. My job as FRA will be the chief person to enforce the laws, and that's what I will be doing. And I'll be certainly working with you in the committee to make sure that you're happy with what we're doing at FRA.
Thank you. Senator Lujan.
This is what real oversight looks like. Senator Baldwin is asking a basic but powerful question. Have you met with Elon Musk? And this guy, Mr. Genton, admits that, yeah, he was in a casual meeting at the White House with him. But what really stands out here? He can't, or won't, say who else was in the room, what was discussed, or who these Doge folks are. Casual meeting? In the White House? With Elon Musk? Please, that's not how democracy is supposed to work. Come on, you're nominated for a top job at the Commerce Department, and you meet people who are apparently shaping government policy, and you just forget their names? If this were a Democratic nominee under a progressive administration, Fox News would be screaming about shadow government operatives for the next 6 weeks. But because it's tied to Trump and Musk, crickets. This isn't just about missing names. It's about unaccountable influence from billionaires and their pet ideologues who have no business directing federal policy, especially when that policy dismantles programs like the Minority Business Development Agency. We're talking about a program specifically designed to support minority-owned businesses, and these Doge operatives just shut it down. That's not efficiency, that's sabotage. If you believe in the promise of America, you don't destroy programs that give a leg up to communities that have been historically shut out of the economy. As a patriot who believes that democracy means lifting everyone up, not just serving tech billionaires and corporate donors, this is disgusting. And then there's the MEP program, helping small manufacturers, including in places like Wisconsin, to stay competitive and create jobs. This guy Genton, he admits he doesn't even know what it is, while Trump's people were slashing its funding. This is the pattern. They cut the programs that serve working-class communities and small businesses, all while bending over backwards for Elon Musk, who's off playing empire with taxpayer subsidies and Twitter meltdowns. Now, this is just straight up dangerous. The nominee's past company had track so overgrown, we didn't even know there was a railroad there. That's a quote from the CEO of the company that bought them. How does someone like this end up being nominated to oversee railroad safety? We already had the East Palestine disaster. Do we need more proof that we can't keep treating infrastructure and public safety like they're side hustles? At the end of the day, this hearing wasn't just about one nominee. It was about what kind of government we want. Do we want public institutions run by competent, accountable people who serve the public? Or do we want them sold off piece by piece to billionaires like Elon Musk? Big props to Senator Tammy Baldwin for doing her job, for standing up, for asking the hard questions, and for putting the people first. If you believe in government for the many, not the few, you're in the right place. Subscribe to True Voice, hit that like button, drop a comment below, and let's keep pushing for the truth. Until next time, stay loud, stay proud, and stay informed.